Hi and welcome back to another Tech Minds video. So in this video, we're going to talk about QRM eliminators and whether they're just a gimmick or do they actually work. Now the one shown here is a QRM eliminator that I purchased from Banggood. It's rated for a frequency range of between 1.8 MHz and 30 MHz. Now it requires a 13.8 volt DC supply to operate and it can handle a throughput power of 100 watts. Now it's a very small unit, just measuring around 12 centimeters in width and 11 centimeters deep, while the height comes in at around 5 centimeters. So it's not actually going to take up too much space on your shack desk. Now the kit that I received comes with 3 PL2592 SMA adapters, a power cable and a fairly short telescopic antenna. The front panel consists of an illuminated power button, a rotary phase control, and a rotary gain 1 and gain 2 control. Now, more about what these do later on. But on the rear of the QRM eliminator, we have 3 SO239 sockets. One is for your main antenna, the TRX connects to your radio or receiver, and the aux antenna is the antenna port we use for the antenna, which will pick up the QRM. We also have a phono RCA socket for switching the QRM eliminator out of circuit when we want to transmit from a radio. You'll also see a 13.8 volt DC power input socket which we use with the included cable. So, how do we use these QRM eliminators and what are they supposed to do? Now unfortunately where I live I don't suffer with too much QRM, but there is one example that I can show you. Now my son has a row of LED lights around the corners of his ceiling, and when he first started using them, I discovered just how noisy they are. So for this demonstration, I turned them back on and attempt to use the QRM eliminator so I could receive the signal more clearly. Firstly, we'll connect everything up, turn on the radio receiver, and then power on the eliminator. Now for my test, I will not use the included telescopic antenna, but a homemade length of wire strung out in the garden and then connected to the aux antenna socket. Now what we're trying to achieve here is that the aux antenna will pick up the unwanted signal only. If it also picks up the wanted signal, then the eliminator will not work as well as it should. You'd normally start off with phase set to 0. Gain 1 would be set at maximum as this is your normal HF antenna control, and then gain 2 we can start off at 0 and slowly bring it up. So you first want to adjust gain 2 so that you have the maximum loudest signal. Then start to adjust the phase control unit until you hear the required signal and eliminate that QRM. You can also adjust gain 2 if you need to bring up the aux antenna's signal. Now it can take various attempts to find the sweet spot for each control, so just have a little bit of patience, although the phase and gain 2 settings will be the most used. As I adjust the QRM eliminator so I can hear the signal more clearly, I then turn it off and on to see the difference it makes. So this example was receiving some weather facts using my FTDX10, and you could clearly see a visual representation of the wanted signal and the QRM from the LED lights on the lower left side of the screen. Now this is just one example. and everyone will have varying results when using a QRM eliminator like this. Now, just to recap, on the aux antenna, it's important that it doesn't receive the wanted signal. It should only receive the QRM. Now, this is how the phase control will null out the unwanted QRM. Now, I know in the real world this may be difficult to achieve because you may not know where the QRM is coming from. And I've seen other videos where the aux antenna is placed near the QRM source, but like I said, in the real world you might not know where it's coming from, and this is why I placed my aux cable outside. Now, the actual cause of the QRM shown in this video was from my son's LED lights, and they're around 10 meters away from the aux antenna that I've got laid outside. So do I think QRM eliminators work? Well, this one sure did. The only drawback with this particular one is that it's only 100 watt throughput capability. So if you run more than 100 watts, then this would not be suited in line with your amplifier and radio. I'll leave a link down in the description if you fancy getting one of these yourself, or if you suffer from QRM. Now, if you do suffer from QRM, let me know how you've overcome it, or maybe you haven't, or maybe you have some other ideas, or even another device that you know that works really well. I'll definitely be interested in reading all about it, and I'm sure the rest of the subscribers will too. Anyway, until the next video, take care, stay safe, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.